Olá, seja bem-vindo ao Conexão UFC. Eu sou a Evelyn Rodrigues e esses são os destaques do programa de hoje. O peso-galo Payton Talbott conta como uma experiência de quase morte despertou a paixão pelo mundo da luta. O ex-campeão do peso-galo Aljamain Sterling revela o segredo do sucesso dentro do octógono. E o Hall da Fama do UFC Clay Guida relembra as lutas mais marcantes da sua carreira no Ultimate. O peso-galo Payton Talbott tinha apenas 8 anos de idade quando quase se afogou. A experiência angustiante despertou no americano a vontade de viver e aproveitar a vida ao máximo. E ele conta pra gente como tem seguido esse mantra à risca nesta edição de Origens.
I was kind of a weird kid. Always wanted to do my own thing, in my own lane. I was 8 years old. I remember I was at my friend's birthday party, and they had this big crane that they were lifting above the pond. And we were playing a game where the last person to jump off would win because it would lift like higher and higher. I just remember I jumped off. I was swimming in the pond and I saw these lily pads on the other side. What I didn't know was the lily pads are actually attached with vines to the bottom of the pond. So as I was swimming, I was wrapping them in the vines every time I paddled. And before I knew it, my head was below the surface and I was drowning. I just remember having a thought of like, wow, I'm 8 years old. I haven't done anything and I'm gonna die. And then the panic set in and I started losing feeling in my arms and legs. I was probably about to lose consciousness. And I felt a hand on my back ripping me up onto shore. The older I get, the more often I go back to that moment. That's when I felt like this eternal need to fill myself with all these endeavors that I'm doing now. It just made me want more. After that, I found that the more things I did that were daredevilish, the more I needed to get that fix. And it just progressively became more and more. It just made me want to like squeeze the wet out of life, wring it out like a wet rag. One day, I was at a restaurant with my family and there were Conor McGregor highlights playing.
This place is on its feet. This kid's got something.
And that was the first time I'd ever discovered anything about MMA.
That's the real deal, ladies and gentlemen.
Another first round for McGregor.
When I saw the way Conor was moving his body and how poetic he looked in his striking.
He slapped him! The first punch he threw. Doesn't get any cleaner than that, ladies and gentlemen.
That's what stuck with me. He was in there painting a picture.
I'm gonna paint a beautiful picture here inside this octagon.
Oh! Conor caught him.
I'm very excited to do so.
Oh, tagged him again with the left hand.
What I saw in him brought out something in me that I didn't know was there. I was like, I would like to try that. I just walked into a gym. I remember the first day we sparred. One of the pro fighters at the time, he just beat the crap out of me. Humbled me so hard, went to my knees. Fell in love with that feeling of just being so humbled and like so present. So I had been training in the gym for probably about 7 months.
Good job.
And my coach came up to me and he was like, hey, you should really think about fighting.
I have to coach him less than most other fighters. A lot of people need to be super coached, but he is more of his own person in there, which makes him flow better and he can react super fast. And I just feel like he can handle anything that's thrown at him.
From Reno, Nevada, presenting Payton Talbott.
My first fight was for King of the Cage.
Just like that, Talbott starting to lay down some heat.
I did well.
Talbott trying to sink in that rear naked choke, and that's it.
I did 5 fights for King of the Cage as an amateur. All 5 of those fights were finishes.
Oh, and the ref will call it.
I was like, let's just see where this fighting thing goes. First pro debut fight was for A1 Combat.
He's making his professional debut. Please welcome Payton Talbott.
Leading up to that fight, I had multiple people coming up to my coach telling me that I needed to pull out of the fight because it was a big mismatch and that I did not have any business stepping in the cage with this guy. My coach was like, I don't know if this is a good idea.
Wow. Oh my gosh, that was one hell of a fight to get this night started.
I'm thankful I went through with it.
He just knows where he belongs, and we're gonna see him outgrow us soon.
I won the belt for A1 Combat and then defended it twice. That last A1 Combat fight, I heard that they were scouting Rivas, so that was why I kind of went after him, because if I beat the guy that Sean Shelby's scouting, I'm gonna be next in.
Dana White, if you're watching, Hunter Campbell,
Yeah, Payton Talbott
Sean Shelby,
is the real deal,
you gotta
guys.
watch this guy.
I won, got the finish,
Second straight title defense.
and then I told Dana,
I think it's time for Dana to give me a call and start beating up his golden boys. I don't think he can ignore me much longer, and I'm hungry right now, so feed him to me.
Payton Talbott, just 24 years old, 5-0 as a pro here. All 5 of those wins coming via knockout.
leading up to Dana White's Contender Series, I had 6 pro fights, all wins, all finishes.
He always brings it. He's always right in people's faces. He takes some shots, but his hand is always raised at the end. And he's very cerebral, very calm in there the way he fights, always moving forward. Oh, beautiful uppercut there from Talbott.
I won by decision after finishing my 10 prior opponents.
He's landing clean.
Which isn't a good look for Contender Series.
144 significant strikes has Dana White on his feet.
I'm my own worst critic. I hold myself to a very high standard.
Like that.
Unofficial 145 significant strikes, man. Congratulations.
I think I made up for my debut in the last 2 fights.
Oh, big 1-2 from Talbott.
Oh my God, stepping knee.
Oh, he's done.
Goodness, Payton Talbott.
That's it.
Sat him down and now he's hammering away. And that'll do it.
Give the people what they want, show the UFC that I'm a crowd pleaser.
This kid is a real contender right away. Oh! Talbot, that'll do it. 9-0. Payton Talbott, lighting him up in Vegas, the real deal. That kid is as legit as they get.
It ended up being a 19-second finish. We were at Idlewild Skate Park. I came out here with Andres, my videographer, and we were just getting some shots because he has actual film cameras, which is super cool. Makes the skate footage look really nice. Coming here just brings me back down to size and slows the pace down a little bit. I think I'm representing a new freedom of personality in the MMA space. One of the most important things that fighting has done for me mentally is to quieted my brain. Being able to get to a present place 2 hours a day, every day when you're training has allowed me to just have so much control over my mental state.
4 times. 4 times.
He's got some very slick striking, and he's been through the fire to get to this point.
Fighting has given me comfortability with myself and who I am.
Feels like all my dreams are coming true, and everything I believed is just in front of my hands now, so I just got to keep going at it.
Fighting has brought me closer to myself and taught me a lot about who I am on the inside. I can fully express myself without any limitations.
Em 2014, o americano Aljamain Sterling estreou no UFC com uma vitória duríssima contra Cody Gibson. Desde então, ele se estabeleceu como uma potência no peso galo, conquistando o cinturão e defendendo o título contra alguns dos desafiantes mais temidos da categoria. Funk Master divide agora um pouco da sua visão de luta nesta edição de Código de Guerreiro.
Enter the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling.
Aljo is a constrictor.
There's the tap!
He's just a phenom. He's so strong, and when he gets to your back, he's the most dangerous guy in the division.
Aljamain Sterling!
I fight because I want to prove that I'm the best in the world. I think there's something special about the one-on-one aspect of competition, especially when it comes to MMA.
Aljamain Sterling has shown for so long that he is one of the best in the world.
Anything which gives you an opportunity to test yourself, your heart, your willpower against another man's, there's something to be said about that. I enjoy not being able to point to anybody but myself for winning or losing. You gotta have a very strong motivation to want to get out there and do something like this. One of the key things that I feel make a fighter is the ability to have the discipline to want to do this day in and day out. Get up every morning and go train, work hard. There's nothing more rewarding than knowing that you tested yourself.
There you go. Yeah, Aljo, perfect control.
That you put yourself through the fire and went out there to try to achieve a dream and a goal. On fight night, I definitely feel a lot of nerves. To just know that you're the center of attention is like nothing in the world matters but that very particular moment. I don't know if I'm affected by it in a negative or positive way. I just try my best to channel it as good as I can so that I can use it as fuel more than something that's gonna hurt me. One of the things I do pride myself on is living in the moment, feeling the energy, and letting that energy be my guide and not let it get the better of me. I always try to remind myself that I belong here, I've been here before, and just remember, this is just another day in the office. Go out there and do what you do best and have some fun. When I'm making the walk to the octagon and the music drops, I just feel like I just come alive and I'm just ready to go.
Here he is, one of the best pound-for-pound fighters in the world today, Aljamain Sterling.
Aljo comes in at a 10.
You just feel the energy from the crowd. You got the screaming fans, the bright lights, the music. There's something very poetic about it. After the weeks of dedication for that one particular event, it's finally about to come to a climax, and you get to unleash the beast. You're either gonna win or you're gonna lose. And that's one of the scary things about it. When it comes to the heat of the battle,
Are you ready? Are you ready? Fight!
everything is about split-second decision-making.
Aljamain Sterling is just so comfortable in a fight.
How you read things when you're in there. Just making sure you're staying focused and dialed in, because one lapse of judgment, and you could be sleeping on the canvas. When you're in the octagon and you feel the momentum starting to go your way,
Oh, big ground strikes now.
you could almost feel the energy uplifting you and wanting you to push a little bit more, a little bit harder. And then you start to pick up momentum and you just keep getting stronger and stronger.
Total domination by the Funk Master, Aljamain Sterling.
To get your hand raised in the octagon, there's nothing like it.
He's under! He's under!
He's gonna tap.
Aljamain Sterling!
As soon as that moment hits and the ref is stopping the fight, I get up in excitement.
Aljamain landing some big shots here from the top.
It's over.
That'll do it!
All the work, all the pressure, the anxiety, the stress, everything for that one moment. There's something special about it.
He's a world champion. He's the kind of guy who knows how to beat the best in the world.
Being able to achieve something, you work so hard for it and you finally get it. It's like that pinnacle moment, and I do hope that everyone in their lifetime gets to experience it at least once.
Os fãs do mundo todo sabem que quando o americano Clay Guida entra no octógono, ele dá tudo de si, sempre com muita raça, coração e habilidade. O veterano de 42 anos tem 62 lutas profissionais. Já foi homenageado no Hall da Fama e coleciona momentos memoráveis dentro da organização. E é ele quem elege agora as 5 lutas mais marcantes dentro do UFC.
made my UFC debut October 14th, 2006 at UFC 64. I've had close to 40 fights in UFC. The wrestling keeps me going, the thrill of competition, just the evolution of the sport, and being a staple in the UFC. And the best is yet to come. My name is Clay Guida, and these are my 5 favorite fights in my UFC career. Coming in number 5 is against Justin James in my UFC debut at UFC 64. What made that fight memorable for me is that I didn't get my arm snapped. He had me in an arm bar. I would face down, so it was almost like a backwards arm bar, and I was able to just kind of weather the storm, get out of it.
He sneaks up. Got it tight too, and Guida turning out just in time.
And then we jumped on top of him and took his back and choked him.
He's got his back. Big trouble here for Justin James with 20 seconds left in the round.
Can he finish it here? He's got a rear naked choke. Victory, Clay Guida.
I got submission of the night. That really kicked off my UFC career. At number 4, it's Tyson Griffin in Belfast. Tyson Griffin came out as a very highly touted opponent. He was a super athlete, he was a better striker than me, he was a better wrestler, better grappler, which made for such an awesome all-around fight. That was pretty much the first time that I did everything. I threw strikes, I threw head kicks. I picked him up, took him down, I took his back, he slammed me on my head. I had a knee bar, I didn't even know what a knee bar was, really.
Knee bar! Looking to spin to it.
The whole crowd was going bananas.
Oh, and right back up is Guida.
And Guida's got to spin off.
Oh, great back fist. And again.
Guida's going off.
Guida trying to cement the victory. We'll find out if he has.
Super close, went to a split decision. Didn't get the nod, but it was definitely a very fun fight. We got performance of the night, we got fight of the night, just a full all-around mixed martial arts display that will always stand out in my head. Coming to number 3, fight of the year against Roger Huerta. It was my first main event, so it was a huge compliment to me and my camp to get a main event, and we just jumped at it. Roger Huerta was a highly touted athlete. He looked the part, he could strike, he could grapple, he could kind of do it all. We had him dead to rights. The wrestling was on point that night. I landed just about everything.
And big combinations by Huerta.
Yeah, throwing down.
Matt Danzig
with a right hand.
joining the party tonight. Huerta is in big trouble. He got rocked by Guida.
We were up 2-0. I probably could have took a nap in the corner, probably could have ran, but that's just not my style.
Huerta wants to keep this fight on the feet.
He put me with a knee, set me into a whole other realm. He ended up taking my back, choked me out, unfortunately.
Guida's in trouble. Guida's in big trouble here.
We got fight of the night, we got fight of the year. I learned a lot about myself. I had to change some things to not just always be exciting, but you have to fight smart as well. My second most memorable fight is against the prodigy, BJ Penn. BJ Penn, for me, had a different meaning. Fighting him, my whole career came full circle. He beat my coach, Joey Gilbert, who was the first 4-time Illinois State wrestling champ, who I thought was just unbeatable. That was BJ Penn's UFC debut. He went on to destroy everybody, so it was an honor for us to be able to compete alongside such a legend. The fight went back and forth.
Big head kick.
I landed some good punches.
That was a nice left hook.
I kicked him in his head like 4 times. I thought I broke my foot.
Clay started limping.
Yeah, that hurt BJ. BJ's hurt. BJ is hurt.
BJ's hurt.
Opportunistic with the takedown.
We were trading pretty much the whole time.
Oh! There it is, big right hand.
He hits like a truck, and he just completely damaged my face. I've had fights that I've lost where I never looked as damaged as I was after the fight. Like I said, it came full circle because Joey Gilbert, he was my first coach. And then I got to avenge his loss against BJ Penn in BJ's final fight in UFC. So to me, that one is a huge victory for myself and for my coaches and for the sport of wrestling. I think we can all agree on this one. The most memorable fight in the UFC for me, the Hall of Fame fight against Diego Nightmare Sanchez. We were on a collision course for that fight. The timing was perfect. He was on a roll. I had just come off beating 2 Ultimate Fighter champions. I beat Mac Danzig, I beat Nate Diaz, and I was kind of looking at myself as the tough killer. I was about to rattle off a third against the guy that was the Ultimate Fighter champion. Right out of the gates, I did everything that my coaches and my brother told me not to do. I backed right up, and Diego just unleashed on me.
Oh my God!
Unbelievable start!
Oh, Diego's all over him! Clay Guida got rocked!
Punches, uppercuts, elbows, knees, cut my face wide open. My mouth guard went flying out.
Sanchez with a huge
Guida lost
flurry
his
early.
mouthpiece!
flying knee.
I got kicked in the head after that.
Oh, he's out. Guida gets rocked by the head kick. Clay Guida's got a hell of a chin. Unbelievable drive for Guida.
At that point, I was just in autopilot. It was a knock him down, drag him out, junkyard dog fight.
And the flying knee again.
Second round, I took him down over again. We were ground and pounding each other. My face was squirting blood all over. I was covered from head to toe in blood.
Everybody loves a comeback. Guida continues to punch away. Man!
The third round was back and forth.
Guida.
Gentlemen, let's fight!
And Sanchez pushes forward again.
People say we should have been a tie. People say we should have won that fight.
Clay landed a good shot there.
The fans won that night. The UFC won that night. That's why we got inducted into the Hall of Fame.
A great fight in our main event of the evening.
To this day, fighters tell me I started fighting because I saw the fight between you and Diego Sanchez. I did my job in the sport, I did my job in life, and I gave back to the sport, and that's why that is my most memorable fight in the UFC. I'm Clay Guida. Thanks for taking 5.
E o programa de hoje chegou ao fim, mas você já sabe, é só usar a hashtag Conexão UFC para falar com a gente nas redes sociais. Até a próxima!